Awesome. Good morning, everyone. To start off, just a quick apology for the delay. We are missing one of the two teams, as you can see. They are practicing very hard, and they're on their way. I'd love to blame Boston traffic, but I have no idea if that's what is it. So they're going to come on up at some point when they get here. We're just going to kind of roll, but wanted to be respectful of everyone's time and just get going. So first off, good morning. I'm Brett Miller, the Executive Director of the Wasabi Fenway Bowl, and I am very excited to welcome you all to this year's Media Day. I'm thrilled to be here at Fenway Park, A, because it's my office and I just had to walk down the hall to get here, but two, with this awesome backdrop here in our 521 overlook, with the soon-to-be unveiled football field for this year's game. Hopefully everyone gets a good look at the scenery, because come this time tomorrow, this ballpark is going to be loaded, very, very similar to how it is in the summer, with both schools and fans from all around New England. This year's game is far and away our best-selling game on record, and that's a huge testament to the players, coaches, and programs that are represented this year. Turning our attention to today, thank you to those who traveled from afar to be here. I saw some UNC homers up here, as well as those who had a similar commute to mine. As far as the matchup, show of hands, who had UConn and UNC squaring off in this year's Wasabi Fenway Bowl at the beginning of the season? I know none of you did. Neither myself nor Brett McMurphy did, so my assumption is that few others did as well. College football is full of surprises, especially when it comes to bowl game selections. With that being said, we're super excited for this year's matchup. Both universities boast incredibly strong football programs and renowned athletics programs as a whole. Huge congratulations to David Benedict and Bubba Cunningham on being here and all this great success you've had across all sports. These are two teams that score a lot of points, which should translate to a very exciting game tomorrow. We also can't leave out the fact that they're both led by coaches with NFL experience. It's super fitting given the pro sports town that we're currently in. This year's bowl continues our theme of two programs that are on the rise. In 2022, we hosted a Louisville team that ended up finishing in the top 10 ranking on their way to an ACC championship game the following year after playing in this game. Last year, we hosted a young SMU team that has since moved on to the ACC, played their way into an ACC championship game as well as the college football playoff. Could one of these teams be next? We'll see. Time and time again, we've seen how pregame storylines fade away once the teams hit the field. Playing at Fenway Park is a unique and special experience, and we can't wait to see how this contest shakes out tomorrow. As we wrap up the preparations for our third Wasabi Fenway Bowl, we're extremely proud of the growth and energy that is building around this game. Whether you're here with your school, covering the game, or supporting operations, thank you. First, UNC head coach Freddie Kitchens will offer a few words, followed by UConn head coach Jim Nola, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. However, first, two quick special guests. I'd like to welcome Michael Welts, Chief Marketing Officer of our title sponsor, Wasabi Technologies, to make a few jokes and to give a few remarks.
Thanks, Brett. I'll keep this really short because I know we're short on time for everyone. But first of all, welcome to the game, welcome to the park. Thrilled to have you all here, especially the teams and the media. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about Wasabi, and I'm sure that's one of the focus points for all the media today. So let me tell you what we're not, okay? We're not a horseradish company. We're not even a horseradish growing company. What we are is a cloud storage company. And what we do better than anybody in the world is store the world's data, content from these sports games. So local teams like the Boston Bruins, the Boston Red Sox, over 400 universities store their data, their content on Wasabi Cloud Storage. We are at the unique intersection of sports, content, and storage. We're proud sponsors not only of this, but of many of the Fenway Group properties, and we're thrilled to be a part of this program. Have a great game tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you folks on the field and seeing you folks afterwards as well. Thank you.
Last speaker before Coach Kitchens, I'd just like to welcome up our friend and partner, President and CEO of Meet Boston, Martha Sheridan.
Thank you, Brett. Like everyone else, I'll be very brief. Just want to say on behalf of Meet Boston, the city's official tourism marketing organization, the city of Boston and Cambridge and the region, welcome to Boston. Our goal is to make sure that the athletes, the coaches, their families have an extraordinary experience while they're here. and I think we've accomplished that. Also want to thank Wasabi and Fenway Sports Group for really growing this event at a time of the year when Boston loves to fill more hotel rooms. So thank you to everyone being here. I'm sure some of you media folks are staying overnight and experience our great city. We're looking forward to some great plays tomorrow, a great game, and again, just want to say thank you and welcome to Boston.
Last time you'll hear from me, I promise. Before we kick it to Coach Kitchens here, I did just want to give a quick statement here and say, out of respect for the players and the coaches who have earned their way into this game, rightfully so, we'd really ask for all attending media to keep questions focusing on the players and coaches that are here today. I don't need to beat around the bush any more than that. I know there's probably a lot of questions that you guys have loaded and swirling around next year, particularly on one side. So again, please do your best to keep it on these guys because they've earned the right to be here. Thank you. Coach Kitchens, all you. You can sit or stand, whatever you want.
First, I'd like to thank, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl for extending the invitation to us, the opportunity to come compete in such an amazing city and iconic venue speaks for itself. The hospitality we've received since we've gotten here, the events that has been associated with the bowl game preparation, everything's been first class, and I commend these guys totally for that. We're really just looking forward to, we're really excited about being able to go out and compete tomorrow, one last time in this 2024 year. So thank you.
If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. We'll walk around with the mic.
Yeah, I'll direct this one to pretty much anyone who wants to kind of answer. Obviously, what has the last kind of month of practice been like? Shifting gears from the regular season, then getting some extra practice time, and then when the UConn prep began, I guess from your guys' perspective, just what has that stretch of practices kind of been like?
I guess I can take that. Having Coach Kitchens as a tight end coach, for 2 years now, and some change, it's been great and wonderful, and he knows knowledge on both sides of the ball. And then when the end of the season came, everyone was a little down after the NC State game, but knowing that we got another opportunity to play was great for us. And Coach Kitchens stepping into to that head coach role, everyone's pretty excited, but he's always instilled into us, the tight ends, toughness of the game. And if you can bring toughness to the game, then other things will follow. So the last couple of weeks have just been being built on toughness and really just hammering that into us. And I think it's been paying off pretty well. But everyone's pretty pumped for this game to come, and we've all been pretty excited for all of the competition that we do in practice and everything. So we're all pretty pumped for the game.
Hey guys, I had a question for JJ and Cope. Y'all were around 2 years ago when you played in San Diego, the Holiday Bowl. That was the Petco Park, a baseball stadium. Now you're playing the baseball stadium tomorrow. Like, what are the challenges of getting ready to play a football game in a Major League Baseball stadium? What do you remember about San Diego? Have you been able to get out there and test the field, here? Like, just, that whole situation, if both of you can answer.
I think it's pretty cool just because this is an amazing venue. I've always been a fan of baseball, and Fenway Park is such a historic place. And, when you play on a baseball field, it is definitely different. They have to transform the field, but I think like San Diego did, they did a good job getting field ready, and we were allowed to come out here yesterday and see what the field was, feel the ground, feel around the area. But I'm excited for the game. I think this is a great place to have a great football game. So.
Yeah, and really just, it's another football game, it's just another opportunity, and the background, Boston, it's been, incredible. So we're all pumped to play here. Like what JJ was saying, it's, super historic. I think one of the oldest baseball stadiums. So super, we're all super grateful for another opportunity, and again, just to go out there and have some fun.
I'm going to go Elijah and Amari on this one. Athletes will go anywhere to find fuel. You guys were here 5 weeks ago. Didn't go very well. It was one of the worst performances in quite a while that you guys have had. Do you get any fuel from that, or do you just forget that, detach it, it has no bearing on this at all?
Could you repeat the question?
You guys were here 5 weeks ago against BC,
Okay.
and it didn't go, it was 41-7 with like 5 minutes left. And can you get fuel from that, or is that overstated? Because I know a lot of athletes will take fuel from anywhere they can.
Yeah, well, I'll speak for me personally. No, we don't really get fuel from that game. We're kind of focused on UConn and been worried about ourselves. So me personally, I don't have any fuel from BC, but, I always think a little as a player and a competitor, reminding and seeing, practicing at BC. But for me personally, I don't have any fuel from that game. We're just focused on UConn and our team.
I would have to say the same. We're not really worried about the 5 weeks ago, the loss that we took 5 weeks ago. We're more so just worried about UConn and the next steps that we have to take as a team. So I'll have to say that, yeah.
If I could expand on that too, 5 weeks ago has nothing to do with anything dealing with tomorrow. And, these guys have done a tremendous job of just trying to get better each and every day, and they've done that. And, they're only worried about this press conference right now. And then after this, we'll start worrying about meetings tonight. And when we wake up in the morning, we'll be worried about UConn. So BC and UConn has nothing to do with each other.
This is a question for Coach Kitchens. Going into this game, obviously playing on a baseball field, the dimensions are a little bit weird. You're going to be having benches on the same side, kind of running hockey-style line changes. How does that affect you? What does your preparation look like going into this different format of subbing on and off?
Yeah, we've definitely been, practicing that during the course of these last couple of weeks. Coach Moore and I, he's never been a part of this either, so we kind of laughing about it a little bit, but I never heard it equate to the hockey style, but I kind of like that. It's kind of fitting, right? The Bruins are pretty big here.
And JJ, this is the first chance we've had to talk to you guys since a lot of stuff has happened. What have sort of the last 4 weeks been like for you with Mac and all the changes and then getting ready for a bowl game? You guys have been through enough this season already, but emotionally, what's the last 4 weeks, month been like just to go through as a player and as a student?
Yeah, it's definitely been challenging. I think this past season was probably one of the most mentally challenging seasons I've had since I've been here. We've had a lot of things go wrong off the field and on the field, but in the past 4 weeks, Coach Kitchens has really instilled in us, be where your feet are. And I feel like I've been able to take that day by day, on and off the field. And at the end of the day, we're here to play one more football game. I know this is my last football game in a Tar Heel uniform, so I'm going to go out there and give it my all and just compete, and I'm just excited to be here.
Hi, Coach. With apologies to Mr. Miller, just a quick question. Will you have any communication with Bill Belichick going into the game tomorrow, back and forth, anything at all?
I talk to Coach every day, but not during the game and stuff like that. He understands we have a job to do here.
This is one of the 4 players. When Coach Kitchens was named interim head coach, how much did it help that such a familiar voice and someone who's had some of the unique experience that he has was going to lead you the rest of the way in a football sense when so much other stuff was going on around that could have been distracting? And how did he kind of keep you guys focused on this task and not about everything, and kind of keep you away from everything else?
Yeah, I can speak on that. Again, just with him being, the tight ends coach for so long, it's definitely the tight ends had a better perspective about everything, going on. So, exactly, what Coach Kitchen said is just being where your feet are with, with everything with Ty Lee, with Coach Brown. It's just control what you can control, and if it's out of your control, you just gotta be where your feet are. If you're in meetings, you're in meetings. If you're in, Boston, have a good time. That's exactly what you're doing. So you can't really focus on what's to come in a week or two, and you got stuff to handle during that day or that week. So, but really just honing in on being where your feet are, because there could be a lot of times during the season or even after the season with the head coaching change and everything like that, where everyone could spiral. But, he just, we had a team meeting and, just telling us, you got to be where your feet are no matter what, so.
Very quickly, for Elijah and Marty, you guys are on defense. He wasn't obviously a position coach. How did you guys receive it that he was the guy, and what were some of the early things that he did that made you guys uber focused on this task and not worrying about other stuff that's going on?
I mean, kind of the same thing we've all said, like just being where your feet are and not really focusing on what's the outside noise, just like how much noise is being made on the outside, just where honing on in into the inside and focus on us, like focusing on your brothers, your team, the next task that's at hand, and just what he brought to the table, just toughness. Like he continues to talk about toughness, competing, winning your one-on-one battles, and just being where your feet are and worry about today, not worry about tomorrow or the next day.
Between, going back the last 4 or 5 weeks and all that's gone on, has there been any, added buzz to the campus at all? Either, being in the bowl game, having Freddie take over, and also the thought of Coach Belichick coming aboard. Have you guys got a sense, of any extra pump, exhilaration, anything about the program going forward?
I'll speak on that. Obviously, coming with a great coach like Coach Belichick himself, there's going to be buzz, there's going to be hype. But as a team, I feel like as a unit behind Coach Kitchens, we're all focused on this game and winning this game. So that's kind of outside noise. I feel like speaking personally, I feel like speaking for the team. So like outside noise, we're just focused on winning.
Yeah, and just, like when we figure out, like, all right, we're going to a bowl, we don't know which one, but Coach Kitchens was really saying, just look to the person to your left, look to the person to your right. That's who you got. If the coach wants to leave, he can leave. If the player wants to leave, he can leave. But we know that we have a job to do, and, that's going to be coming, the Fenway Bowl, and that's all we were focused about was, one-on-one battles, competition, being tough, and the person on your right and the person on your left, and that was all it, so.
We'll take one more question for UNC, and then we'll bring Econ out.
Guys, this is for anybody. This game sort of marks the end of an era and maybe the start of a new era. So can you talk about what it means to you guys, and, do you feel like it's a new era about to start?
Yeah, definitely going to be a new era. This game will show, or we can take things from this game going forward. Me being the only person returning, that's going to be with the new staff. This game will definitely show some of the younger players and some of the players that we have what they can do going into next year. But like I said, again, we're all focused on winning this game and competing in this game, and we've been focused on this game the last month. So that's been a big thing for us. Yeah.
I know it's going to be somewhat of a new era, but at the end of the day, I don't think any of us would be here without Coach Brown, the things he's done for the program. I know he's helped me out a lot personally, and, when he took this job, his goal was to get UNC back on that stage, and I think he did his job to perfection. So without him, none of us would be here. So yeah, I feel like he's the reason why we're all here. I just want to put that out there.
I would second that sentiment that JJ said. Coach Brown did a lot of good things for the University of North Carolina and Tar Heels, all over the country. We've got thousands and thousands, but really this bowl game is more about, these guys that are never going to wear a Carolina uniform again, and making sure these guys go out with the best, feeling possible about the program. They left the program in a better spot than when they first got here. So these guys have won a lot of football games for Carolina, and for them to have a part in the new beginning, I think it's special. But again, we've got a game tomorrow to kind of send these guys out on the right path.
Thank you so much. We'll bring out Econ now.
Appreciate it, guys. All right, I think we stay here.
Just so you can get a picture with Coach Morrow. Yeah, and then you guys are good. Come this way. Or that way? That way, yeah. Thank you. Good morning. you want to do just a quick picture up here with what's that? Right up here, right in front of us. Yeah.
You make me look bigger now. My wife will get on me about that. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, 2 at least. Go in there. Appreciate it. See you. Good. Take care.